What is up, guys? It is Mercules here. This is going to be another Halo commentary that I've got for y'all today. And the gameplay you're going to see in this commentary is pretty long. It's a little over 14 minutes. It's different than the majority of gameplays that I put up. Obviously, it is title update, Team Headhunter, it's multi-team, just like the normal stuff that I do. But the way it's different is it's going to be a little bit more competitive. Meaning I don't just completely decimate terrible kids the entire game. Actually, in this game was a YouTube montager by the name of Skinny Dubs, who is, I'd say, significantly better than me at Halo, actually. So it forced a uniquely competitive aspect of the game, as we were both pretty much going for the same type of gameplay, and coincidentally, we ran into each other a whole ton. And because of that, you'll pretty much see me die like 25, 26 times in a game, something that I don't normally ever. It's probably going to be the most deaths you'll ever see from me in a gameplay. I don't think I've ever posted a gameplay that has that many. But besides that, it is still a good game. I still get like, in the high 50s for kills, maybe. I don't think I get 60 kills, but you'll notice when I start running into this kid, because you'll see some pretty epic duels that we have between each other. And I get some nice no-scopes on him in the end, but yeah, that's enough about the gameplay. Like I said, this is a long gameplay. It's like 15 minutes, so I'm going to have a couple of different things that I want to talk about. I want to talk a little bit about Halo and the community itself, because just some things that I've noticed, specifically from reading the comments on like the single Halo clips, top 10s that I do, and stuff like that. And I also want to talk about something that's kind of more important than that, that has to do with just, I want to call it, I guess, internet respect. But just respect in general. It's not just on the internet, but the main focus of it is the internet. So today I was reading a website called Polygon, which if y'all haven't gone to, is just a gaming news website. But they have some pretty good articles up there. I'm generally always entertained when I read their stuff. But I was on Polygon, and there were two separate articles talking about people who have just been the target of vicious harassment over the internet. And one was a girl, one was a guy. One of the cases was so severe that the guy actually had to leave his job and pretty much just completely restart his entire life. I mean, he was getting death threats, they were threatening to kill his family, they were threatening to, hurt his children and things like that. I mean, it was just pretty ridiculous. And the other one was a woman, of course. She was getting, sexual harassment and just sexist comments all the time about how she was a woman and things like that. And it just made me really think. For a very long time, been a member of the, sticks and stones can break your bones, but words will never hurt you, and don't feed the trolls type of camp. Where if someone says something to me over the internet, even though, it might not be the nicest thing, for the most part, I generally just ignore it. I try not to respond to trolls if I can help it, because, all they're really looking for is a response out of you anyway, so for the most part, it's just best to ignore them so that they don't get the response, and then they generally go away, unless they're just obviously the most hardened troll ever who will continue to harass people even when there's no response back, just because they genuinely enjoy it. But then the other thing is, like, if someone says something to you online, it is just words. Like, it doesn't actually hurt you. Nothing anyone ever says to you online should you ever actually let hurt you as a person. They can say some pretty mean, pretty terrible things to you, but they are just words. And I mean, even death threats you get online, no one is actually ever going to care. I can't imagine, or I've at least never heard of a time when someone was actually, someone said some like death threat on YouTube or something like that, and then actually went and found that random person that they were yelling at and actually killed them. I don't think that's ever happened. So for the most part, anything said on the internet, on forums, on message boards, on Xbox Live, on PlayStation Network, on YouTube, it is all just talk, and that's all it is. But the only reason I'm a member of that camp is because I feel like the actual solution to this problem is so much more deep. Like, people always want to go on these, things and just be like, oh, stop being such a troll, you're being a jerk, why are you doing this? Or like, why can't you just stop trolling? Well, the reason why they don't just stop trolling is because our society as a whole derives pleasure and teaches our children to derive pleasure from other people's pain and other people's suffering. It's not necessarily that parents are teaching kids to do this, but mass popular media is, for a fact, teaching kids that, pleasure can be derived from other people's pain. It's a really unfortunate thing that this is happening, because this is a problem that is so much deeper than anything that one person can fix. Our society as a whole would have to change it. And look at that no-scope right there. Beautiful no-scope. Our society as a whole would have to change it before anything could happen. Movies would have to be portrayed differently. Stars would have to act differently. Right now, we are infatuated with people like Kanye West, who are just complete jerks, in normal life, and yet they're the most popular people in our entire society, and we spend so much time and energy focusing on what they're doing and idolizing them. It's ridiculous. So I just want to say, like, I don't think I'm going to be able to have any effect on anyone in real life, but I'm just saying from my personal experience, I used to be, especially back in high school and back in middle school, like, I used to be kind of a troll because I thought it was funny, but there was always this, like, slight, you know, nagging doubt in my mind, like, you know, some of the stuff I'm saying is actually pretty mean. Like, that's not really that funny when I stop and think about it. And I think what would actually make people quit doing this is if they took a moment to think about the people that they're actually saying these things to. Like, they're not just, you know, these are not just anonymous people on the internet. They're people too. And though I just said that you shouldn't let sticks and stones break you, or sticks and stones hurt you, I mean, that's not, you know, that's not always the case. Some people are more sensitive than others. Not everyone can just blow off an insult given to them on the internet, especially when the insults are, you know, extremely hurtful. And not everyone can just blow that off. A lot of people actually, you know, it does actually affect them. Like the two people I mentioned earlier who wrote articles about it on Polygon. I mean, one of them felt the need to quit their job, and the other one, she was a game designer, and she just pretty much almost gave up developing the game she was working on because she was getting so much hatred on it, just from internet trolls. So I guess the main overall point I'm trying to reach here is, you know, if someone is being a troll to you, if someone is, you know, just being a jerk to you, treating you poorly, don't let it get to you, if at all possible. I mean, just think about the fact that it's just, they're just words. It doesn't mean anything. They don't actually have any power over you unless you give it to them, pretty much. Like, they're never going to be able to actually hurt you unless you allow them to emotionally taunt you the way that they're trying to do. And if you allow them to do that, then they've pretty much won, because that's exactly what they want to do. They want to get a reaction out of you, they want to see if they can make you feel bad, and that's what they're trying to do. And, I mean, even our YouTube society as a whole, I've gone on single Halo clips, and I've seen people on there just, you know, cursing each other out, calling each other racist terms, like, all this terrible, terrible stuff that is completely, like, unnecessary for... We're supposed to be one community. We're supposed to be the Halo community, and yet, at the same time, you know, people in the Halo community are trying to hurt each other, trying to make each other feel bad, trying to belittle each other. It's so unnecessary, and I think one of the reasons YouTube is so bad at this is there's, you know, like, some of the biggest gaming channels on YouTube are troll channels. People like Minnesota Burns, who I have nothing against as a person because I don't know him, and I actually think he's, you know, I really respect what he's done with his channel. He turned it from literally nothing into one of the biggest gaming channels out there. But he's a troll. Like, he's a grown man, and he is messing with little kids on a video game, making them feel bad, and then posting their, like, humiliating reactions on YouTube. And I know a lot of people do that, and some of them it's different because it's like, you know, you're trolling someone who's already trolling, or, you know, something like that, or some of it's just kind of harmless, but some of the stuff is actually just, like, not funny. It's kind of sad. It's like, why are you doing this? Don't you have, like, don't you have something better to be doing with your time? You're a grown man. Like, stop messing with babies pretty much on Call of Duty and stuff like that. But, I mean, I guess that's pretty much all I want to say about that whole subject, about internet trolling in general. Just, I mean, try to avoid it if you possibly can. Like, think about what you're actually saying, and I guarantee you it's not actually going to make you feel good when you think about what you're saying if you're going to say something mean to somebody. And if someone is saying something mean to you, just let it go. Just ignore it. Like, don't let it affect you. It's easier said than done a lot of times, but seriously, just let it go. Like, it's not that big of a deal if they're saying stuff to you online. So that's kind of, you know, the two arguments meeting in the center. Like, on one thing I'm saying don't do it, and on the other hand I'm saying it doesn't really matter. But, I mean, that's because those are like perfect world scenarios. The fact of the matter is that it does matter to some people, and some people are going to troll. So in a perfect world, we wouldn't have any trolls, and if there was a troll, the person who was being trolled wouldn't care. But this isn't a perfect world, so, you know, try to just take those two techniques. I guess that's all I really want to say. I didn't have anything. I guess I actually rambled on about that for a lot longer than I thought I was going to. I didn't really think I was going to talk about it for that long. I thought I had some basic points, but I didn't really write them out, so I guess I went on for too long. But the other thing I want to talk about is Halo in general, and where I see it going. Right now, I would have to say that probably Halo is at its lowest point ever, and I think that's pretty obvious. But also, I don't necessarily see it getting any worse than it is right now. I think it's pretty much, I think the community is pretty much at its bare minimums right now. I think Halo 4, you know, good and well destroyed what Halo had built with Halo 2 and Halo 3 and everything like that. I think Halo 4 is pretty much taking it down. And the funny thing about it is that Halo 4 is not actually that terrible of a game. But the problem is that it was a Halo game. Like, if this was not a Halo game, if you called this game something else, if this game was called, I don't know, Shooter #1 or something like that, just some random stupid name, it would actually probably be a relatively, you know, popular, like, I'd say top 5 shooter on Xbox Live. You could maybe put Titanfall and Call of Duty and Battlefield ahead of it, but I think it'd probably be like a top 5 shooter on Xbox Live. But the problem is that it's not shooter #1, it is Halo. And Halo, we came to expect much, much better things than what we were delivered with this particular installment in the franchise. Now, the story was still good. Did I like it as much as I liked Halo 3's story? No, definitely not. Nor Halo 2, nor Halo 1, even though I've never played Halo 1, I just know what happens. But I thought it was a good story. I thought the campaign was entertaining. It was an enjoyable playthrough that I did. I didn't have a bad time. And actually, I think currently the multiplayer itself is not really that bad. It's not that bad of a game. I think one of the issues they have is that Halo is, by definition, a much more competitive game than Call of Duty, than Battlefield, you know, than most other shooters on Xbox Live. Most other shooters are geared very strongly towards the casual, and because of that, Halo tried to lean itself in the casual direction with Halo 4, and that was a mistake. Halo is a competitive shooting game. That is what it is, that is what it does, that is what it always has been. That's why they had the 1 to 50 ranking system, and Halo Reach started this decline when they got rid of the 1 to 50 ranking system. I like what they tried to do. They tried to do like a thing, the way StarCraft's ranking system works, where you have divisions and stuff like that, and you get ranked in a division. But the fact of the matter is that's not going to work for Halo. There was no reason to change the 1 to 50 ranking system. The 1 to 50 ranking system worked great. There was no reason at all to change it. And they changed it anyways, and it screwed everything up. And they pretty much turned their backs on the competitive gaming scene. And now Halo 4 doesn't even have a chance to be an MLG. I'm pretty sure Microsoft straight up told MLG that they couldn't do it anyways. But, I mean, it's like Halo 4, Halo is not a casual game unless you're playing in the social setting. But for the most part, this social setting was kind of like a compliment. Like, I don't think I ever saw, ever in my entire Halo 3 career, I don't think I ever saw someone who was playing in social who didn't have any ranked games. Like, everyone played ranked games. Even the casual players played ranked games because it was fun to see how high up you could get your ranking. I mean, that was the point of it. That was why people did it. And I would very routinely, I would say more often than not, go into, you know, social games on Halo Reach and not even see anyone who or not, like, the vast majority of the people in the playlist would not have played any type of the arena games at all. They would just not even have touched the arena games. That was pretty much just what happened. And it was because the arena just wasn't really that fun. There wasn't a lot of variety, and it wasn't like in Halo 3 where once you got your 50, you had your 50, and like that was awesome. It was like you had to constantly play arena over and over and over again just to maintain your, you know, division, and it just made it not fun. It made it more like a chore. It was something that I didn't want to do, and I know a lot of other people didn't want to do too. It just kind of ruined Halo. And I'm hoping that when Halo 5 comes out, the population will definitely get a boost when Halo 5 comes out, because number one, like I said, it can't go any lower. And number two, all the casual people who buy Halo for the story and then just try the multiplayer a couple of times will also come back. And that's going to be good because it's going to give 343 a chance to redeem themselves for the debacle that is Halo 4. And all I'm saying is that there is a good chance if Halo 4 does or if Halo 5 does things right, that Halo can be resuscitated. People are tired of Call of Duty. That's why Titanfall is so popular. That's why Halo 4, you know, did well when it first came out. People are tired of Call of Duty. It's the same thing over and over and over again. Most of the time, it's just little kids playing the game. It's not really that fun. People are looking for something else, and I think Halo 5 has the chance to be it. Unfortunately for them, they're also going to be competing with Bungie directly this time, and Destiny is going to be the, you know, direct competitor of it, and Destiny is going to be multi-platform, so we'll see how that goes. I personally am looking forward to Destiny more than I'm looking forward to Halo 5 right now. But, I mean, those are pretty much just my thoughts on the Halo community itself, where it's at. Again, stop the infighting in the Halo community, guys. Like, can't we all just help each other out? There's no reason at all to be you know, dealing with all this complaining and bickering and stuff like that. So that's it for this commentary. Hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Hope you guys enjoyed my elongated ramblings, because that's pretty much what it was. And remember to like, favorite, and subscribe for more.